So I'm Madhuri Karud, IRS 2020 batch. IRS is Revenue Service in Customs and GST, and I'm here to have an interaction with you all. I hope I'm audible to you all. And I have an agenda set for the entire talk that I'm going to do about. So I'll first give my introduction. I have done my bachelor's in psychology, an undergraduate in law, as well as master's in anthropology and political science. This is because I wanted to be prepared for the plan B, which I would be talking to you all in this talk. So this is the agenda that I would be going around. The first one is I would be talking about prelims, mains and interview and how to go about them. Like the preparation, the strategy, the we can say that the tricks, not the exactly the tricks or the easier part, the smooth part that we should take to clear all the three stages. Secondly, I would talk about the motivation. Yes, good evening, Lokesh, good evening. So secondly, I would talk about the motivation that keeps you going, because this is not one single stretch wherein you would graduate within a week or year or maybe a couple of years. This might be an unending journey, or this might even be a snap of the fingers. So like yes, even that is it. Then later on I would talk about the best question that everybody asks to every topper or to the faculty members, which is do we have to read newspapers, and if yes, which one and for how long? So I would be dealing with that. The fourth part, I would be talking about the PYQs, the previous year questions, with respect to the prelims also and the mains also. Then I would speak about if there is a need for coaching, and if there is a need for coaching, which component of the entire preparation needs coaching. And then I would also speak about the general question, that is NCRTs, which are quite basic in nature, and you see that if you look at the previous year's papers, a certain number of questions do pop up from the NCRTs directly. So I would talk about that. And then we would talk about the timetable that most of the people are stressed about, and which no other topper speaks, and even if one speaks, it is very ideal in nature, wherein you then they strategize things like I will be speaking about it elaborately once I give you this agenda. Okay, so the next one is and the last part I would be talking about is plan B. Do you need a plan B, and how can you construct your plan B while also preparing um, for your civil services? Okay, this is my agenda for today, and anything and everything that you want beyond this from me, you could ask in the questions. Okay, so I would be roughly speaking about 10-15 minutes, and then I would take up the questions. So the first thing, how to go about the entire equation of prelims, mains and interviews. So prelims, you all know, is very dicey. Dicey in the nature that there's a lot of hype about the prelims, and that is the reason why people find it difficult. For example, people were finding the GS paper difficult through a couple of years, and then instantly when the GS paper gave good scores and good marks to people, um, once immediately started facing the problems in the CSAT. Many people just flunked away in the CSAT. Okay, yeah, I would take that. Yeah, I would take that question. Okay, and the thing is that prelims is not predictable per se, but you can channelize your energy in such a way that you would get enough to clear the prelims. And I'm not joking in this sense. It is a science. Every part of UPSC, stage of UPSC preparation is a science. And if you get to know the formula about it, I guess you can go about it very easily. So for prelims, you need to do the PYQs, the basics. The current events is again a dicey question, which I would be dealing in the newspaper section. So prelims is, a set agenda. You have to read so much, so many number of times, and just get through it. What we usually do is we read so much, just one number of time, and then we couldn't get through it. And even if a few of us, our friends or our colleagues who might get through it, I hope I'm audible. Yeah. Uh, just give me a thumbs up if you could hear me. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is how to go about the entire equation of prelims, mains and interviews. See, prelims is, not predictable per se, but you can channelize your energy in such a way that you would get enough to clear the prelims. And the thing is that prelims is not predictable per se, but you can channelize your energy in such a way that you would get enough to clear the prelims. I take that as an yes, maybe. Yeah. So uh, the thing is, we read too much just once or twice, and then we expect ourselves to clear the prelims. It is not so. You have to read a set number of basic studies that you have been given, the syllabus that everywhere people are giving the book list and all, many number of times, so that even if in sleep you are shaken and asked about what kind of continental plate boundary is there between Europe and Asia, you should be able to answer it just because you have read it a number of times. Okay, that's what I meant to say, that revise it multiple times, and you should not revise it only when the prelims are near. Okay, see, that is where we fail. We have a very limited span. We really have a limited span. If you read something, you would forget it within a week. So you need to read periodically, syllabus wise, which we would deal with the syllabus management if somebody has to know about it. Okay. Then once we come to mains is predictable. I would say mains is simply predictable. I would not say the questions are predictable, but the type of questions asked and from the areas of the syllabus from which the questions are asked are pretty predictable. And how do you know the predictability? From the previous year's questions. Okay, as simple as that. Mains is predictable. All you have to do is write, and write and improvise, write and improvise, write and improvise, write and improvise. What do I mean by improvise? You should write the answer. You should not simply write hundreds of answers. You can write 5 answers, get it evaluated, find all the drawbacks that you're lacking in, and then go ahead with it. Okay? 5 question answers of GS1. See where you're lacking. Ask somebody to evaluate your answer. Write another 5 questions. Evaluate them. If you have improved, okay. If you're not improved, work on the basics. Write another 5 questions. That's how you go about the mains. And the interview part, yes, interview, you cannot fake in the interview. This is a big line. You might have found cases wherein people have faked in the interviews. But the cases are few and you might not get lucky. The thing is, you need to be very truthful in the interviews. You should have basic knowledge about everything, at least whatever is mentioned in your DAF. You fill up a detailed application form before your interviews, and at the minimum what the least expect is to know about yourself, which you have filled in the DAF. Like, you need to know about your college, you need to know about the institute that you have been in contact with, you need to know about the cities that you have lived in, you have to know about the employment or the background that your parents have worked in. These are the things that you are supposed to know. If these are the questions you tackle with and say that I don't know, yes, Alok, I'm going to answer that, take that question up. Yeah, I have said that in my agenda. Yeah. And if you expect that to not know these things, then that gives a very bad impression. If you don't know what the recent GST estimates are there in the budget of the recent year, or if you not know what ministry is planning, what kind of project, that is okay, that is very acceptable. But if you don't know what you have written in the DAF, it is going to get cranky about it. So for myself, in my interview, I have secured 198 of 275, which is a pretty good score. Pretty good, in fact, yeah, much good score. And the basic funda behind it was I did not fake anything. I had been, I am also a classical dancer. I have been put questions by a panel member on the classical dances of India. I just knew about a few of them, and the rest of the rapid fire questions which they usually put to get you tense through and through it, I couldn't answer. For 6 individual questions, rapid fire, back to back, I was saying, sorry sir, I don't know, I'll read about it. Okay, so there one might have thought that the interview is flunked, you're going to, go downhill, go south from now onwards. But that didn't happen. What I think they appreciated is that I at least told them what I don't know. I knew whatever dance I have learned. If I have learned Bharatanatyam, I knew everything that they asked me about it. But if they are asking me about Kathakali, about Kathak, about Odissi, there might be a few things that I might not have known, and they do know about it. Just be truthful. Yes, I'll be answering about the prelim strategy. Yes. Okay, so this is about the prelims, mains and interview. I hope the entire funda is clear. The second thing that I spoke to you was about motivation. Yeah, you have to prepare for the prelims, for the interviews, for the mains, but what keeps you going? Because this cycle can be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, endless, you know. I have seen friends who have cleared their exams in the 8th or the ninth attempt, which is a pretty long struggle that one goes through. So this is one thing. What keeps you going is ask yourself why civil services. Okay, it might be for money in the sense the rational money I'm talking about, and not about the filthy things that go around. Okay, it might be about social prestige. It might be about making your parents proud. It might be about proving yourself right somewhere so that your self-esteem increases. Any reason that you are having for preparing for the civil services should be a solid reason. Why I am saying a solid reason is because once you start getting, slipping off the road of the studies, you usually tend to slip away a further, further away. That's because you don't get back here. If you're pretty clear, why do you want to do this? See, if you want to prove to your say family members or your parents that you are capable of doing something and this is the way that you have to prove yourself, every time you slip up from your studies, just remind yourself that you have this agenda to prove, and clearing the exams is just one way. Okay, public service is one thing. Your public service has to be there. Okay, it has to be there, because see, you simply cannot come into the civil services without the bona fide intention of doing good to people, because in civil services you are going to have a lot of power in the sense, not absolute power, but yes, a lot of resources will be at your disposal. A lot of man force is going to be at your disposal, and then you have a lot of authority, decision making capability and power. So this should not go waste. So even if you can make a little change into the lives of others, into policy making or into anything else, I guess yes, you should stick to it, and this has to be one part of your motivation, not the entire part maybe, but yeah, everybody has his or her own story to go about, so that might be subjective. But yes, motivation you get from the taking back the reason every time कि क्यों करना है, यूपीएससी करनी है तो क्यों करना है, आईएएस बनना है तो क्यों बनना है. ठीक है, if you have that reason right, your motivation will never fade away. Okay, I cracked my exam in the dire peak times of COVID. It was so disastrous that people could not even survive okayish in their own homes also. But studying in that period was something that very few of us could do. Okay, so what was the motivation behind it? My motivation was to prove myself at the earliest age possible. Have a social prestige, have a position wherein I could do positive change in the society without people, taking away that authority from me. See, there's a difference between power and authority. I would not go delve deep into this ethics part. But the thing is, even as a common person, you can do good things. But it makes a change when you are at a position of authority and then you're doing good things. People appreciate you more. Okay, that's the difference between the two. Okay, this is what I have to talk about motivation. The third part is newspapers. Do you have to read it, and for how much time, and which one? Personally for me, I think it differs from case to case basis. But personally for me, newspapers were a get to go. Okay, a get to go in the sense every morning my day didn't start without the newspapers. Okay, and I'm not a very physical kind of person, like open the newspaper and read it and all, and it was also COVID, so like reading physical newspapers was difficult. I had these e-papers downloaded. There's a subscription for the Hindu, which gives around 1100 rupees a year, in which you get the e-papers, and if you have a laptop or a tablet or even your mobile phone, I guess that is good to go for the reading the newspapers. Why read newspapers? You read newspapers because you get original content. ठीक है, न्यूज़पेपर्स में जो कुछ भी आता है वो ऑलमोस्ट सभी क्लासेस वाले, सभी मैगजीन वाले कहीं ना कहीं से एडिट करके वो छाप देते हैं. And but that is the second hand content, that is the secondary content and not the primary content. What you intercept, what you comprehend from an article might be different than what the coaching institute comprehended from that article. and your comprehension is more important. Okay, that is why you have to read the newspapers. Apart from that, you get very subtle case studies in the newspapers. For example, if a local cop in some region, in some remote area, has done something good, you can note it down. If that is an example of empathy or something, you can put it down in GS4. Okay, these things you do not get manufactured way in any magazine or any class notes. Okay, that is one. We'll come to the questions. I'm reading your questions. I'll come to it. So that's about the newspapers. The fourth part is PYQs. Do you have to refer to the PYQs, and if yes, how? Yes, previous year questions are going to be a guiding light. The syllabus is vast, particularly in mains. In prelims, you might, with seeing the changing nature of questions, you might keep PYQs a little aside. But when it comes to mains के लिए you have to be thorough with the PYQs. Why? The questions are going to be repeated or not is not our agenda. We are not here to crack some, a university exam wherein we predict the questions and then write about it. What PYQs are going to give us is the weightage. Okay, the weightage of every subtopic in the GS 1, 2, 3, 4, and the number of questions asked. Okay, for example, the disaster management part in GS3 is very small. But if you could see, there is alternatively or at least every 1 year, a question comes from disaster management, and the syllabus is pretty small, like 20-30 pages, and the disaster management syllabus is just done. So if you know that a question is going to come from here and the input output ratio is high, if a 15 marker or a 10 marker comes every year, I'm just giving you an example. If it comes every year, then you know that 30 pages notes are going to earn you at least 6-7 marks out of 15 or 5-6 marks out of 10. If you're pretty sure about it, you know where to put your energies into. Then hitting around the bush wherein all haphazard things come up. What happens is, usually when the mains exams are done and the question papers are out, usually the class people or our colleagues or our friends who are studying along with us, what they do is they discuss the questions which are offbeat. Okay, they discuss those questions which nobody could have answered. Okay, and this is not the right way to look at the question papers. Yes, some questions are going to be difficult. You cannot expect recruiting yourself into group super class 1 stage of officer level without having to face such challenges and with an easy cakewalk. Okay, be practical about it. There are going to be a certain full tosses wherein you could not touch your back to it, and that is fine, that is okay. What you have to concentrate upon is like 15 questions which have a set pattern year after year and which do come up. ठीक है, हमारा ध्यान इन क्वेश्चंस की तरफ होना चाहिए जो साल के बाद रिपीट होके पैटर्न में आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, we have to concentrate our energy on this part and not on the part which is randomly coming up. ठीक है, there was this question about Cyberdome the other year. Nobody knew what it was about. ठीक है, and also the predictability about the mains and the PYQs are interrelated. For example, if you have been preparing for 2 or more years, ठीक है, अगर आपको 2-3 साल में पता चल गया है कि ये टॉपिक से क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, ठीक है, बट यू हैव नॉट टच्ड दैट टॉपिक. For example, let me give you an example. So, for example, now since take this example of disaster management only. Since most of the questions are, the instances of disasters are increasing. You see recently Syria, Turkey, then you see Philippines, you see Japan, you see Afghanistan quakes, you see Kashmir quakes, you see Delhi tremors, you see northeastern tremors. All these things are rising. So you can see that in the recent years, the trend about climate change and disaster has increased. So you can channelize your energy to that thing. This is what I meant about PYQs and analyzing them. Okay? And the next part is coaching. Do you need coaching? But that is an entirely subjective area. What I would say is, instead of putting a wholesome package wala coaching for the entire year, this is what, in my individual opinion, you can make your own amendments to it. So if you are low on money, if you are low on time, if you want to attempt soon, if you're high on age, So what I would suggest is identify the area in which you are not strong enough, okay, and put a crash course about only that topic. For example, if you're not good in economics, try putting a crash course or something in economics. ठीक है. So this is one way of looking at the coaching. And if you have just started preparing and you have still time to go, you know nothing about the exam, I would say that you can go for coaching. And is it so that you clear the exam only with the coaching centers or good coaching centers or the centers which take a huge amount of pilot amount of fees? No, it is not so. You can do it without the coaching also. In fact, I would say that without the coaching you put in more energy because you are very insecure because the others are taking the coaching. So even that is one case. So it is an entirely subjective decision, and I would say that coaching is not an impediment in any way. If in case your financial status or your time or your situation does not permit you to attend the coaching, I would say just go with it. Yeah. Then the part is about NCRTs. NCRTs कैसे पढ़े? I see people reading NCRTs from 6th to 12th for no reason all the time. ठीक, ये नहीं करना है हमें अगर आप ह्यूमैनिटीज़ के बैकग्राउंड के नहीं हो या फिर हो भी 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 के जो NCRTs हैं वो सिर्फ एक बार पढ़ने हैं. उनमें अगर आपको लगता है कि ह्यूमन वाला पार्ट आपको नहीं आ रहा है, ज्योग्राफी की ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी का पार्ट आपको नहीं आ रहा है, नोट दैट डाउन. You can read on these sections again back in the NCRTs. There's no point in reading the NCRTs from 6th to 10th. All that is important is 11th and 12th, and there are certain NCRTs, which are fundamental about certain subjects. ठीक है, you can refer to those. For example, science and technology, biology, physics, chemistry, you can refer to the lower class NCRTs to get your concepts clear. Otherwise, I would say that once if you read through it, if you know that what it is about, there's no need to come back to the NCRTs again from the basic level. 11th and 12th do cover the entire part again in an advanced level. So that is what my opinion is about the NCRTs. And NCRTs के notes बनाए क्या? आपको अगर बुक से पढ़ना आपके पर्सनालिटी को सूट नहीं करता है तो डेफिनेटली यू शुड मेक नोट्स. एंड इफ यू आर ओके विथ हैंडलिंग द बल्क बुक्स एवरी टाइम यू रीड, इफ यू आर गुड एट अंडरलाइनिंग, if you're good at noting things down on the page itself, I would say that without note making also NCRTs are fine. Then the last part is about timetable. Timetable का सीन ये है, I'm not going to share something that I'm not going to spoon feed you all कि नहीं ये करो, 3 से 4 ये पढ़ो, 5 से 6 ये पढ़ो. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you that how not to make the timetable. Okay, there are a few don'ts when it comes to timetable. For example, आपको कट टू कट टाइम टेबल नहीं बनाना है, ठीक है. आपको टाइम का टाइम टेबल नहीं बनाना है, ठीक है. कट टू कट नहीं बनाना है मतलब 10:05 to 10:10 I'll drink tea, ठीक है. 10:10 to 11:01 I'll study so. This never happens. If it happens to somebody for a continuous period of time, hats off to that person. I would really admire that person. But this is not durable, this is not time tested. In fact, what you can do is you can not plan about the time, but you can plan about the syllabus. ठीक है, आज मुझे 9th के NCRT के 30 पेजेस पढ़ने हैं. कैसे पढ़ रहे हो, कब पढ़ रहे हो, रात को पढ़ रहे हो, सुबह पढ़ रहे हो, दिन भर पढ़ रहे हो, doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say is make targets based on your syllabus or your studies. समझ रहे हो आप? You should not make targets based on the hours कि आज मैं 10 घंटे पढ़ूंगा. ठीक है, 10 घंटे पढ़ूंगा, पर क्या पढ़ोगे? 10 घंटे बैठे भी रह सकते हो. रीडिंग हॉल में आई हैव सीन सो मेनी पीपल जस्ट गो, पुट देयर बैग्स, सिट इन फ्रंट, scroll their phones for a long number of time, and then they wake up, they go for chai, they come, they again scroll phone, they sleep, they do whatever, they go for lunch, they come back, और वो बोलते हैं मेरा 10 घंटे का टारगेट था, मैं आज 14 घंटे बैठा हूँ लाइब्रेरी में. हाँ ठीक है, आप बैठे हो, पर आपने किया क्या है बैठ के? Are you getting my point? ठीक है. So you should not plan about the hours of studies, you should plan about the content of studies. Okay. कंटेंट इन द सेंस आज मैं एथिक्स के 2 चैप्टर्स पढ़ूंगा, ठीक है. तो आपको वो हो जाना चाहिए. आप सुबह उठ के पढ़ रहे हो, आप दिन को बिना सोए पढ़ रहे हो या फिर आप दिन में 2 घंटे सो रहे हो और उठ के पढ़ रहे हो, डजेंट मैटर एट ऑल. ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. ठीक है. And about plan B, the last point of my agenda about plan B is that looking at the nature that is going on around us, I think plan B is more important. ठीक है. प्लान बी इम्पॉर्टेंट क्यों है? क्योंकि 3 साल बाद आप जब मैसेज कर करके पढ़ाई कर करके अटेम्प्ट्स दे दे के थक चुके हो, आपकी एनर्जी पूरी ड्रेन हो गई है, और unfortunately if you are not in a situation to attempt again, तो you are left hanging in the middle with nothing around you. ठीक है. So this should not be a case. I really hope that everybody who is listening to this or who will listen to this do clear the exam with wholehearted, wishes from my side. But let's be practical about it. You never know what happens. So that is why plan B is important. So the reason that I did multiple degrees, I have got a JRF, UGC JRF also. And I had been selected for the ACIO IB also, Intelligence Bureau. And then I had also my state services mains in my hand. So you see, you have to step on different, rocks at the same time so that you don't drown. ठीक है. मल्टीपल पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन हुए मेरे पास एक प्रोफेशनल डिग्री है विच इज अबाउट ऑफ LLB लॉ, wherein I could have practiced. I could have been practicing lawyer had I not been here. ठीक है. तो ये सब बातें हैं, इनकी वजह से यू हैव टू बी प्रैक्टिकल. ठीक है. रोजी पिक्चर इज वेरी नाइस. यू आर इन क्लास 12, फर्स्ट ईयर, सेकेंड ईयर, थर्ड ईयर, यू विल बी लाइक नहीं आज मैं एक अटेम्प्ट पे करके निपट जाऊंगा. दिस डजंट हैपन. Be very sure. It might happen in few of your lives, and I really hope that you would be the few in whose lives such events happen. But let us, when you expect the worst, you try preparing for the entire scenario. So I would say that plan B is important. Identify your personality and please create the plan B. Okay. So I'm done with my talking. I took a little more time and I'm open for the questions. ओके. राधिका इज आस्किंग मैम एथिक्स को कवर कैसे करें. राधिका, एथिक्स के 2 हिस्से होते हैं. फर्स्ट इज थियोरी एंड द सेकंड इज द एप्लीकेशन पार्ट. आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट इफ यू जस्ट स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग, प्लीज गो थ्रू द थियोरी फर्स्ट. नो द कॉन्सेप्ट्स. थियोरी मतलब आपको बुक नहीं पढ़नी है, मतलब बुक पढ़नी है पर उसमें आपको क्या देखना है, आपको डेफिनेशन देखने हैं और डेफिनेशन समझने हैं. एम्पैथी क्या है, ऑब्जेक्टिविटी क्या है, इम्पार्शियलिटी क्या है, या फिर सर्विस पब्लिक सर्विस क्या है, इन सब के डेफिनेशंस आपको समझने हैं ताकि आप एग्जाम में खुद से लिख सको. एंड द नेक्स्ट पार्ट इज एप्लीकेशन. जब आप ये कुछ समझते हो तो आप वो केस स्टडीज में किस प्रकार से लिखते हो या फिर आंसर्स में किस प्रकार से लिखते हो. ठीक है. दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. So yeah, these are the 2 parts, but I would say that the first part you would start reading the theory part, understand it. Okay. Alok is how to live self-motivated. That's what I spoke about in the beginning, but I would just wrap up in a couple of seconds that how to stay self-motivated. Just tell yourself that if you don't do this, you will be at a very terrible situation. ठीक है. इसी से सेल्फ मोटिवेशन मिलता है. सेल्फ मोटिवेशन तो वैसे कोई और मिलता नहीं है हमें. एंड आफ्टर 1 or 2 attempts, even I am not saying that way, but even our families start, distancing themselves, distancing their involvement in our process. ठीक है. उनका सपोर्ट तो हमेशा रहेगा, बट वो इन्वॉल्वमेंट थोड़ी थोड़ी कम होने लगती है, तो हमें खुद से बहुत कुछ करना पड़ता है. तो उसी के लिए सेल्फ मोटिवेशन चाहिए. तो सेल्फ मोटिवेशन कैसे चाहिए? तो आई टोल्ड यू, आइडेंटिफाई योर पर्पस एंड जस्ट गो अबाउट इट. ठीक है. जब भी कभी आपको लगे कि हम ये नहीं कर सकते, तो आप सोच लो कि मैंने ये शुरू क्यों किया था. ठीक है. दैट इज द वे. देयर वाज वन मोर क्वेश्चन. आई गेस आई जस्ट स्लिप्ड अवे फ्रॉम इट. ओके. मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री के लिए स्पेक्ट्रम और बिपिन चंद्रा. अमृत इज आस्किंग spectrum can come handy for prelims and mains also. Bipin Chandra has more analytical part. You can improve your mains answers when you read Bipin Chandra, but I would say that if you are attempting this year, just stay away. If you have not read Bipin Chandra any time now, and if you are attempting this year, I would say that stay away from Bipin Chandra and engage yourself with spectrum for now. But in case if you're attempting for the next year, I would say Bipin Chandra would be a good choice, because it gives you analysis, it gives you a perspective to write in the mains answers. That is appreciated. Okay. Ma'am, economics के लिए take which book? Economics के लिए see, any topper who suggests a book list, a standard book list, I think it is a good to go book list. You people can go around it. What I used was Ramesh Singh. मुझे Ramesh Singh की language friendly लगी, so I was comfortable with Ramesh Singh. I used Ramesh Singh. But there are people who are currently using. I have seen people after me or even my colleagues using the notes of certain classes. You might just go around it, just see which language is comfortable, and you can pick up your own book. Any more questions? Sanjana asked, how did you manage with so much of syllabus? Okay. सिलेबस कैसे मैनेज किया? सिलेबस जैसे मैंने आपको बताया वैसे ही मैनेज किया. आई ब्रोक इट इनटू टॉपिक्स. तो मैंने टॉपिक वाइज स्टडी किया, मैंने कभी घंटे वाइज स्टडी नहीं किया. तो अगर मुझे कंप्लीट करना है GS2 का पॉलिटी का पार्ट, तो मैं खुद को 15 डेज अगर देती हूँ, तो उसमें मैं कैसे भी करके करती हूँ. अगर मैंने 2 दिन पढ़ाई नहीं की, अनफॉर्चुनेटली अगर कुछ हो गया और मैंने पढ़ाई नहीं की, तो आई मेड इट अ पॉइंट दैट विद इन 15 डेज आई कवर अप दैट पार्ट. ठीक है. तो कभी कभी मैं सुबह 7 बजे से बैठती थी, रात को खाना स्किप करके वो पार्ट कंप्लीट करती थी. आई एम नॉट सजेस्टिंग यू ऑल टू स्किप योर डिनर्स और सो. Just get the point that if you're giving yourself a target of 10-15 days about for a certain thing, or 4 days about a certain thing, make it a point that you adhere to it. Okay, that's what. Another question. Should we make short Christmas? Amrut's PT 365 itself notes का form है. आप उसके भी नोट्स बनाओगे तो आपको क्या मिलेगा? I would suggest that you just take a highlighter or a red pen or some other color pen and highlight whatever is important. That would be your notes. The only thing is that you would have to run through the papers before the prelims, but I guess that is a good to go option instead of writing a few things down in which you might miss a certain important part of it which is given in the original source. So I would say that making notes of such kind of notes is not a good idea. Okay. देन कितने परसेंट थे? रोहित जी, ये मैटर नहीं करता है कि हमें कितने परसेंट थे. इंडिविजुअली मुझे 80 थे, बट दैट हैज नो रिलेशन विद व्हाट यू आर स्टडीइंग और व्हाट यू आर गोइंग इनटू. Alok, what is cadre? Revenue service doesn't have any cadre. Okay, revenue service doesn't have any cadre. राधिका, करंट इवेंट्स कहाँ से प्रिपेयर करें? करंट इवेंट्स के लिए personally I would suggest that newspaper is the best source. Secondly, you can take up any compilation of monthly compilation of any institute or any other thing, and if you want to just sway around with it through an authentic government source, you can follow the pages of PIB. On they're available everywhere on Instagram, or they are available on all the platforms, also on Twitter also, and as well as on the web also. So I would say PIB, newspaper, and any one compilation of monthly things would be better for the current affairs. Follow any website preparation apart from reading and okay, Vidya, I think that anything that you do apart from the rest of the crowd is going to take you a mile forward. And that could be anything, like you could read, it could be your hobby to read, to listen to various podcasts or hear and watch certain documentaries or anything. So if you gain any insights from all these things, that would be an add-on to it. So I would not suggest any particular website or something, but if it is your hobby to dig into, किसी का स्वभाव होता है कि you are very curious about things. I used to keep reading random stuff. If I got into something, अगर cryptocurrency मैंने पढ़ने लगा तो मैं उसमें 1-2 घंटे जाती थी ऐसे ही टाइम पास में, कि वो पढ़ाई का टाइम नहीं होता था मेरा, but I would just go along, click on links and random surfing wherein फिर क्रिप्टो करेंसी का क्या एप्लीकेशन है, किस देश में क्या क्या हुआ है, विच नेशन इज क्लोज टू अडॉप्टिंग क्रिप्टो करेंसी एज द नेशनल थिंग, दिस चेन गोज ऑन. इवन इफ यू गूगल ना तो नीचे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं जिसको आप ड्रॉप डाउन करके पढ़ सकते हैं, एकदम छोटे छोटे 30 वर्ड्स के उसके आंसर्स होते हैं. So if you read at least those questions about one topic, a lot of the area gets covered. So I guess yes, apart from all those basic things that you do, if you go 1 or 2 miles ahead, that is going to definitely help you enrich your answers. Okay, I hope I answered your question. From Alok, I don't know, like I have never referred to it, but I guess if it is comfortable for you and if it is okay with your comprehensive skills, you might go with it. So how many years of PYQ is important for prelims? I guess 2016 से करिए संजू, क्योंकि 16 से पैटर्न चेंज हो गया है. तो if not very much back, if you have paucity of time, I would say 2016 से तो करना चाहिए. ठीक है, PYQs when it comes to prelims. Third attempt this time. नहीं अमृत, the thing is there are certain exams that have a syllabus that overlaps with our exam. A lot many exams. Had I been knowing this a couple of months before, years before, I would have been landing in certain other service also. तो फिर बात ये होती है ना कि आप जस्ट देख लो कि जो जो एडवर्टीजमेंट्स आ रही है गवर्नमेंट की, उनका सिलेबस देखो. Just check if you can manage that with a little time, and if you can go about it through managing your CLC preparation also. For example, there's this example NABARD, ठीक है, National Bank for Rural Development, उसकी एग्जाम होती है. There's exam for FCI, Food Corporation of India. Then there's this exam that I cleared, IB, Intelligence Bureau की ACIO की एग्जाम होती है. उसके बाद में if you're optional, if you have an optional, and if you're mastering in that optional, for example if you have political science and if you are preparing, doing your masters or MA in political science, you can also attempt UGC NET also. So these are pretty good option plan Bs for your scale, I guess. So I guess I answered that question also. How to do for CSAT? CSAT कैसे करें? CSAT के आप पहले क्वेश्चन पेपर्स रीड कर लो, सॉल्व कर लो, आपका स्कोर कितना आ रहा है देख लो. एंड Amrut, I'll come back to you. Just a minute. So what I was saying. और उसमें से अगर आपका स्कोर बहुत ही कम आ रहा है, 100 के नीचे आपका स्कोर आ रहा है, तो यू विल हैव टू do the reverse engineering for the CSAT. You have to see that what all you're not going well through and then prepare over it. That's how we do for CSAT. Amrit, CDS is an entire different thing. Even I cleared my CDS. I was All India rank 16. I was the lieutenant in the Indian Army. But somehow I didn't end up being there. I resigned from there just because I wanted to come to the civil services. Because if you have a clear agenda of what you have to do with your life, for me developmental work was must. I wanted a certain level of flexibility, okay, and flexibility in the sense of making decisions, ठीक है. There's a lot of hierarchy in certain areas which we do not find much in our system in civil services. So I guess you should at least go about it. You should know what kind of job you're going to step into before making a decision, because later on after 3-4 years it is very difficult to turn back. So I would say that please make a learned decision. Last couple of questions, I guess 1 or 2 questions. Please ask me relevant questions, please, no personal questions. How to start preparation? आप कौन से क्लास में हो मुझे पता नहीं है, अगर बिगिनर हो तो आप NCERTs और न्यूज़पेपर्स के स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. Last call, any question? I guess we will wrap up. Okay, thank you everyone. Yes, one question. Time management. Okay, time management, time management. This is a very good question in the sense that yes, everybody gets 24 hours. People who clear the exam also get 24 hours, and people who don't clear the exams also get 24 hours. The thing is, what do you do in those hours, and how effectively do you do? मतलब it is impossible for you all to study 12-13 hours for like 12 months in a year. So there's usually a cycle. ठीक है, जब एग्जाम नजदीक आती है, प्रीलिम नजदीक आती है, तो उसके पहले 2 महीने हम बहुत ज़्यादा इनपुट देते हैं, 10 आवर्स 12 आवर्स, एक महीने पहले हम 14 आवर्स 15 आवर्स भी देते हैं. सिमिलरली मेंस के पहले जब 1-1.5 महीना होता है तब हम बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम देते हैं. वो जो बीच का टाइम होता है ना, वो इम्पोर्टेंट होता है. ठीक है, जहाँ पे एग्जाम नज़दीक नहीं होती है, जहाँ पे सब लोग रिलैक्स होते हैं. ठीक है, अगर आप उस टाइम पे कंसिस्टेंटली 5 या 6 घंटे इफेक्टिवली आप पढ़ाई करें, तो आई गेस यू वुड बी मूविंग अहेड ऑफ द लीग. ठीक है, टाइम मैनेजमेंट का ये नहीं है कि आप दिन भर में क्या करते हो, लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग करिए. एग्जाम के पहले ही दौड़ना नहीं है हमें. एग्जाम के पहले बाकी सब सोए हैं, तब तक दौड़ के लेना है. 5-6 किलो, अगर 50 किलोमीटर की रेस है और बाकी सब पहले लास्ट के 2 महीने में दौड़ रहे हैं 50 किलोमीटर, मेक इट अ पॉइंट पहले 6 महीनों में आप 20 किलोमीटर दौड़ ले, तो बाकी सब 50 दौड़ रहे हैं, आपको 30 दौड़ना है. इफेक्टिवली यू आर गोइंग टू रिवाइज मोर. ठीक है, so that is the way you would manage time. It is an unconventional way of answering, but I guess you got my point right. ठीक है. Yes, you can prepare for both UPSC and state PCS together. You can and you cannot also. That is individual. If the syllabus of your state is overlapping with UPSC, I guess you could manage it well. ठीक है. Ethics का I have already answered. You can just go back and check. स्मार्ट स्ट्रैटेजी तो उस पर भी मैंने बात कर दी है पहले 5 मिनट में. टाइम मैनेजमेंट इन मेंस में मेरा टारगेट ये था कि 1.5 घंटे में मैं 10 क्वेश्चंस करूँगी और 1.5 घंटे में अगले 10. ठीक है, तो इसमें आई डिड नॉट चेक इफ आई एम आंसरिंग 15 मार्कर और 10 मार्कर, विच आई शुड हैव डन. That is what I think that could have given me extra brownie points, because 15 मार्कर के क्वेश्चन का अप्रोच अलग होता है और 10 मार्कर के क्वेश्चन का अप्रोच अलग होता है. तो इफ़ आई एम राइट नाउ टू एडवाइस यू अगेन कि कैसे करना है, तो मैं बताऊंगी कि मैंने जैसे किया है वैसे मत करिए. आप ये कर सकते हैं कि 15 मार्कर के 10 क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा टाइम दे दें और 10 मार्कर के क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा कम दे दें. ठीक है, लुकिंग एट योर राइटिंग स्पीड एंड ऑल. So for example, 1 hour 45 minutes for 15 marker, 1 hour 15 minutes for 10 markers. That could be a good management strategy. My optional was anthropology. I cleared the exam technically in my second attempt. Yeah. Okay, last two question, people. Last two question. I have to go. I answered almost all the questions. Guess कैसे करें? रंगलाल, इस पे बहुत सारे वीडियोस ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं, पर गेस वर्क इज समथिंग that I have spoken about it, to how to deal with the prelims PYQs. I guess that would give you a good thing. हाँ, ऑप्शनल के बारे में, ऑप्शनल कैसे चूज करें, जो आपको समझ आए, जो आपको whatever you can write well should be the optional, not the one that is scoring well. That might be one of the 10% parameter, but I guess you should understand the option, you should be able to comprehend the option, you should be able to write it down. ठीक है, कभी कभी हमें बहुत अच्छा लगता है फिलोसॉफी सुनते हुए कि यार मैं तो फिलोसॉफिकल पर्सन हूँ, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि जब कोई आगे फिलोसॉफी देता है, बट टेकिंग फिलोसॉफी एज योर ऑप्शनल इज एन एंटायरली डिफरेंट माइंडसेट. सो जस्ट बी ओके अबाउट इट. पॉलिटी के लिए विच बुक? Most of the people refer Lakshmikant, but if you find any other better book, you can go about it. The content is going to be same in most of the books. So like what source you refer is not important. How well you understand the source is important. Okay. So all the best everyone. I hope you all come soon to this side of the journey very soon. And it is easy. Please take out from your mind that certain things are going to be difficult. Yes, it is worth it. It is challenging and it is worth it, but it is not impossible at all. Even a very average person in the sense who has never talked everywhere also clears the UPSC. So it is nothing to be feared about. Just be very calm, have your own strategy, stick to your strategy. Do not trust or believe anything that you hear in the air, because a lot of things come in the air. Even COVID came in the air, so like not all that comes in the air is healthy. So yeah, all the best. Thank you so much.